Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, to the second episode of my series, The Magic of the Musical, where we discuss all things music and choreography in the world of musicals. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, etc, etc, etc. And now I will introduce our music for today. Now, this might come as a shock to some people, because it's not one that people would usually consider a musical, but I would like to explain which musicals I like to do in this series, and that is ones that aren't just, oh, we've edited music on over here, they're quirky, they're different, they sometimes acknowledge the music, and that is why I've picked, of all films ever, Madagascar. Now, this comes as a shock, but I picked this one because they acknowledge their music sometimes, and also it's a film I watched recently, cough cough. So to begin with, I noticed patterns in the Madagascar films when I was watching The Penguins of Madagascar recently, so I think I'll begin there. There are two main points that I noticed. Firstly, when the penguins had a chase scene in Venice, in a boat of all things, they overturned the boat, which knocked over two lovebirds and the boat punter, and then the only person left on the boat was a musician playing a stringed instrument. I don't think it was a guitar, but if it was, you'll be able to see it, because I'll have a clip about here.
How about some music? Something chasey.
Here they come! Blah, blah.
Let's move!
Go! Go! Stroke again! Stroke some more! Stroke! Stroke! Stroke!
And Skipper, who's the lead penguin, asked the musician to play something chasey, which resulted in a very, very quick paced tri-terrain boat scene with a very calm musician who was carried along with them, which, to be honest, just represents the uniqueness and out-of-pocketness of the Madagascar films so perfectly. And the musician kept on playing, very focused, until one of the octopuses destroyed it, because of course there's octopuses, it's something random and Madagascar-y. And they have octopuses in Madagascar. Maybe, possibly. The second moment was when the North Wing were explaining the plan. Now, the North Wing are... The North Wing are... The North Wing are a group of undercover agents that basically defend animals that can't defend themselves. Yes, I stole that idea from the film. When the North Wing leader, Agent Classified, as he named himself, who entertainingly is played by Benedict Cumberbatch, who's infamous for not being able to pronounce the word penguin. Either way, got off topic. When they were explaining the plan with a cool gadget, there were lots of oohs and ahs from the penguins, and Skipper asked, as the lights were flashing and plan was introduced, where is that music coming from?
Where is that music coming from? Wow.
Now, this acknowledgement of their music made me question whether they're aware of the background music in their films, and we can assume that this music just comes from the cool tech, because I imagine that Agent Classified is secretly a theatre kid. I also toyed with the idea of the penguins coincidentally being constantly near a really talented musician, because, like I said, it's a very out-of-pocket film with lots of random things. I mean, it's actually not that far from what could be the truth. My other potential idea was that there was a secret fifth penguin who's very good at music and is actually filming the entire film, but I decided that that was too unlikely. So I decided on the fact that the penguins are simply cool enough that they can have theme songs. No, I'm not going to elaborate on this, they just are cool. Secondly, we have the film Madagascar 1. And this one has a mix of what seems to be meaningless background music that's just there for the vibes, and some very talented musicians. For instance, on multiple occasions, the penguins appear to have their themes or their theme songs simply because they are cool. Yes, I did put sparkles around cool in my script as well, because it just works. Anyway, we also see the animals sing in this, which is something we didn't really ever see in the Penguins of Madagascar films. So in the zoo, for instance, Marty and Alex, who, if anyone's not watched the films, Marty's the zebra, Alex is the lion, Gloria, who I don't really mention here, is the hippo, and Melman, who I also don't really mention, is the giraffe. Just to get everyone up to speed. Anyway, Alex and Marty sing New York by Frank Sinatra, and that is a time when they're singing
New York.
New York!
Another moment was very briefly in the ship that they were about to capsize or hijack even. There was a man singing a sea shanty. And then finally, we have everyone's favourite song sung by King Julian himself, and sing it with me, ladies and gentlemen.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. Yeah, I like to move it.
Fun fact, the actor for King Julian is actually the same person who plays the dictator in the film The Dictator. He also plays the dictator in the film Borat, but both of those are adult films, so don't watch them if you're under the age of 18. So we also have some instrumental pieces. One of those moments is in the Grand Central Station. We have some violin music in the background. Now, my research says that violinists often play in the New York Grand Central Station, so I choose to believe that there were some very talented and very fearless violinists sat in the corner playing the violin and just doing that dramatically.
I got him!
He's got him!
He's got him! He's got him! He's got him! I got something for you!
Because it's New York. Some of those New Yorkers are very tough and they won't back down from a fight or a good violin shot. We also, in the New York subway, have a drummer which Melman, oh I did mention him, Melman goes and crashes through and essentially steals one of his drums by accident. So we have him, who played a little bit of instrumental music. And then we also have a sneaky bit near the beach where there is music when they're all in Marty's hut on the beach on the quote-unquote fun side of the island.
Wow. Would you look at that?
It's like billions and billions of helicopters.
It's a shooting star! Make a wish, quick!
Oh, how about a thick, juicy steak?
I choose to believe that because it's Marty and it's a Madagascar film and they're on a beach, he somehow managed to either make or find a record player, because that just fits the character and it fits the film. And I think he's got a record player hiding behind his bar or something that is playing music, solely just because I love that idea. They also had music in the lemurs scene, so it's quite possible that the lemurs have a record player as well. Because, you know what, they had a plane crash where they got all of their stuff from, and it was an old plane, so I reckon that someone somewhere had some form of playing music in the luggage of that plane. So you can't convince me they didn't absolutely raid everything and everyone on that plane. So finally, for this episode, we have some hallucinations. Near the start of the film, Alex is shot by a tranquilizer, and that means that he is experiencing vivid hallucinations which make you think he's on cloud 9, and not for the right reasons. So he's experiencing music in this time, and I can't remember what song it is, but I'll probably play a clip of it about now.
Guys, I love you so much.
Who can take a sunrise? Sprinkle it with you. The candy man. Ooh, the candy man can. The candy man.
Because I forgot to take notes when watching this film. So he's listening to this music, which is simply inside his head. It's a classic song. He seems to be a fan of classic songs, what with New York, and there's another one, which is the one from the Olympics, and I want to say Ring of Fire, but it's not Ring of Fire. Something Chariot of Fire, maybe. I don't know. I'll probably play a clip of that now here.
Party! Alex!
Marty! Alex! Marty! Oh, Marty! Alex? Marty!
As well. So yeah, he listens to songs when he's under tranquilizer darts on the off chance that happens. I've only covered 2 films in the Madagascar series because that's all I have time for today. But if you want me to cover the other, I think, 2 films, maybe 3, do leave a like, leave a comment telling me any other ideas you have for musicals. I'd love to hear them. I would try to factor them in. And of course, if you like the video enough, please do subscribe. Next week, we're going to be back on Minecraft. Thank you very much for watching. I have been Chesburger9896. Ta-ra now. Bye!